What if the prelude is already here? Not with fire from the sky, but with thumbprints, facial recognition, and voice commands. What if the stage for the mark of the beast is being set with every harmless upgrade that you accept? They call it progress. They say it's for your safety, but is it really? When your face can unlock your wallet, your fingerprint open your door, and your voice grants permission to spend, are you really in control? Or are you being trained to obey a system that you don't understand? Because when the real mark comes, it won't feel foreign. It will feel very familiar. And that is the danger. Welcome to the warm-up act, the digital dress rehearsal, Barcoded Souls. And if this is your first time tuning into Southern Confidential, welcome. And to everyone else, welcome back. Now, if you would take a moment to subscribe to the channel, like the video, turn on that notification bell so that you will be notified whenever we post. And now, y'all, back to our story. Somewhere along the way, convenience became king. It started small, unlocking your phone with a fingerprint, asking Alexa to play a song, letting Siri tell you what to eat, sleep, drive, even breathe. You can pay for your groceries with your face, rent a car with your palm, and never speak to a human again because an AI chat box can handle your emotional breakdown, your banking needs, and your dating profile in one fatal swoop. This, my friends, this isn't just innovation. It's transformation, and it's happening faster than we're able or willing to process. Every day, billions are being cataloged by systems that you see. Facial recognition, voice prints, keystroke patterns, emotional AI machines that read your micro expressions better than your mother. And of course, it doesn't stop there. Your location is tracked, your heart rate can be detected through wearables, your conversations are stored, analyzed, and sold. Even your belief systems are predicted based on your behavior online. All in the name of personalization, all in the name of security. But what happens when these tools are no longer optional? What happens when buying, selling, traveling, voting, even existing requires participation in a unified digital system? Because Revelations 13 and 17 says, no one could buy or sell unless they had the mark.
Talk about social credit in China. This is something that's coming to the entire world. Revelation 13 tells us there's going to be a global control of all of humanity. You can't buy or sell without taking the mark. And so talk about that. Talk about just the level. And I heard someone say, you can't have that beast system without having some type of super intelligence that's regulating that system.
Well, I think, yes, China was at the forefront of rolling out this control platform, I call it. And it includes, cameras, video surveillance. It includes photographic interpretation and surveillance. If you've seen sample footage of what the social credit score system and the surveillance system looks like in China, you'll see that as there's throngs of people, each one has a little box. Sometimes it's a green box, sometimes it's a red box. Yeah. And if you look very closely, there's little clues as to what exactly is going on with that person that's been identified. And you can very much see that because China has a digital yuan, they can tie the, I would say compliance is the best word to use, right, with the policies of the CCP to a monetary throttle. You obey, you get good things, you get rewards, you get permission. Yeah. If you do not comply, you get torqued down. You can't fly in a plane. You can't spend your funds in the way that you had freedom before. So This is the proof case. It's stage setting, and it's ominous in terms of its capability and increasingly its rollout throughout the world. Because look, if you've gone through a port of call, international flights, even in the U.S., and you'll notice there's cameras everywhere. They're studying your face.
Now, let's pause for a second. We're not saying that your phone is the Antichrist. We're not saying that AI is the mark of the beast. But let's ask the real question. Is artificial intelligence the brain preparing the world for the beast? Just think about it. AI, well, it already controls communication through censorship and algorithmic preference, controls commerce by flagging transactions and controlling access. It controls speech by shadow banning dissent and rewarding compliance. And when AI can recreate your voice, deep fake your face, and predict your next move, well, what's left of your identity that hasn't been digitalized? What's left of your soul that hasn't been barcoded? The truth is, everyone is being desensitized. And here's the chilling part. People don't fear it anymore. The average person is so desensitized that privacy feels outdated. They trust the machine more than their own neighbor. And this is exactly how it happens. Not with force, but with seduction. Slowly, strategically, systematically. Until the next step no longer feels like a violation. It feels like a natural evolution. And let's talk control and dependency. And let's not forget that we've willingly handed over the power. We let social media tell us what matters. We let credit scores define our worth. And we let apps dictate our attention. And in countries like China, a social credit system is already in place, determining what citizens can and can't do based on digital behavior. And if you think it's just China's problem, well, think again. Digital ID systems are being tested and rolled out in Europe. Biometric databases are being built in the US. And global leaders are openly talking about programmable digital currency, money that expires, money that can be restricted, and money that can be denied, just like the prophecy. So this is getting super deep, but let's talk scripture and theologians. Theologians like John Woolford, Tim LaHaye, and Chuck Missler. They have long warned that the mark of the beast won't come out of nowhere. It will be welcomed, guys, because the people will already be conditioned to trust the system. In other words, to need it. That mark is in its final form, guys. We will likely be more than just a symbol. It may even be a digital credential, a biometric stamp, a data key tied to your existence, maybe.
The Antichrist will make communist China look like a Sunday school party.
Yes, absolutely.
And so, but communist China, this is a story that I heard, Scott. This is an example of social credit and how powerful it is. A guy jaywalked in China. They took his facial recognition software, discovered who he was. They fined him for jaywalking and took the money out of his account without his permission and gave him a social credit, debit, negative. And just exactly like you said, once you have enough strikes against you in their social credit, you can't travel, you can't do this, you can't do this. It is 100% total control. And the Antichrist will be after total control. Now, the mark of the beast, what are your thoughts about the mark of the beast? Do you think it's just, obviously it is not just a financial tool, because Revelation 14 says if you take the mark of the beast, you could never be forgiven.
That's right.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on the mark of the beast?
That is a very big topic all its own, right? So in a nutshell, Jimmy, I see the mark of the beast as having a total control narrative around things like monetary, buy-sell authorization, as you said. And that's a combination of existing decades-old banking infrastructure.
So, is this the beginning of the end? And what does this all mean? Are we in the tribulation? No. Is this the beast? Not yet. But is the system that welcomes him already being built? Probably. That we can't ignore, because while everyone waits for horns, fire, and brimstone, they've already handed over the one thing that matters the most: their soul's sovereignty. So go ahead if you may. Scan your face, speak to your AI, use your palm to pay. But before you do, ask yourself, is this just convenience, or is this the prelude to prophecy? Let's call it barcoded souls. So I know what you're thinking. This isn't your usual clapback, crime breakdown, or political scandal, and you're right. But let me tell you something. This just might be the biggest crime of them all, because what's more criminal than letting your soul be hijacked by code? What's more dangerous than not realizing that you've been enrolled in a system you never signed up for? A system that doesn't need your permission, just your participation. See, guys, this isn't just about AI or innovation or algorithms. It's about how billion-dollar corporations and social media giants have quietly, skillfully taken over every inch, every crack, and every craving in our lives. It's not robbery in the traditional sense. It's more like digital possession. And while they get richer off our data, your voice, your face, you get more comfortable being controlled. So here's the word to the wise. Maybe this isn't the mark of the beast just yet, but maybe it's the perfect dress rehearsal. And if my instincts are correct, the show's about to begin. The only question is, will your soul be in the audience or a part of the cast? And don't forget, if you haven't already, take a moment to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and your girl. I'll see you next time.